Well, when it comes to being fit, people talk a big game, but boy, can the excuses come out when it comes to getting it done. You don't have to go anywhere to get fit. And Ruth Shaw is joining me today because you know that for a fact.
I absolutely do. I came up with the idea of kitchen yoga, Sharon, because many of my students couldn't always get to classes regularly. You know, life happens, they're busy, somebody comes to stay, the kid's sick, all that kind of thing. So I wanted to help them keep momentum between classes. So I had the idea that everyone has some time in their kitchen. We're in the kitchen every day,
Absolutely.
right?
We spend a lot of time in the kitchen.
Absolutely. Yes, sometimes too much. But I thought in the mornings when you're making your tea or your coffee or you're toasting up a bagel, why not fit in a pose? That's about 2 to 5 minutes right there. And if you make that a daily habit, that's about 30 extra minutes of yoga a week.
That's a lot, and really, during the course of a day, especially if it's a day you're not necessarily going to go and do yoga or any kind of activity, this will help keep your joints limber, your muscles loose, and I really think we don't do ourselves enough of a service to do that.
Absolutely, and as we age, we need to do that even more. So a daily routine where you're not trying to fit something more into a busy schedule, it's easy. You just do that every day. The soup is simmering or the kids are home from school having a snack in the kitchen, and then think, okay, I think I'll do some work on my hips today. They're really tight. Or my shoulders are killing me. Just flip to the shoulder series in the book and then pick out a pose and do that.
Now, we're talking about the book and the series. Now, you have broken the book down into basically areas of the body that you can work on.
That's right. Well, everyone has their hot spots, and usually when I'm teaching, it's shoulders, back, hips, and I threw in a balance series as well because people need to balance so that they strengthen their hips.
And I guess that strengthens you right through the core too if you're holding things well.
Absolutely, and it helps with posture, and it really helps with self-confidence too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now we're still talking about, you know, getting fit, and so I think for some people it still might not be getting through. This doesn't mean dragging a mat into the kitchen.
Absolutely.
And necessarily having to get fully changed.
Nope.
Give me an idea of how simple it can be.
Well, you could come down in your jammies in the morning. That's one thing.
I'm liking it already. That's good.
Or when you come home from work, if you've been busy, just, you know, most people put comfy clothes on when they come home from work. Some sweatpants, or even if you're in a rush and you're having to go straight to the office, you could maybe loosen a tight belt or something. You could still do a forward bend, or you could take your shoes off and do a little balancing pose.
That feels better already.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm happier.
Okay. Would you like to try a balancing pose?
Yes,
okay.
I would.
All right. So let's do something really, really simple. Just standing on one leg. You can, if you're a beginner, you could always hold on to the kitchen counter. Just lift up one leg. Okay. Actually, I'll move back a little bit, and then I'm going to ask you to stretch your leg straight out.
Point or flex?
Well, you can point. I think flexing is good because it works your hamstrings.
Does it ever?
Now, see if you can bring your arms up over your head. Whoa. Can you feel that in your legs?
And in my hip.
And in your hip. Good.
Excellent.
Now that's strengthening your hips. Okay.
And how long would you hold this?
You could hold that for 6 breaths, then take a pause, and then do it on the other side.
That's kind of key, isn't it? To keep the breathing. Don't go.
Oh yeah. We didn't even talk about breathing.
No.
Because one of the things I'm suggesting is when you come into the kitchen, just before you're actually going to do your pose, your kettle's boiling or your coffee's percolating, just take a moment and ground, get your feet on the ground, and take some nice deep breaths. And there's a chapter in the book about that. Yeah, so it's really important to breathe because slow breathing is going to calm down the mind.
That's important.
Yeah.
Now that one is, it's amazing how much I felt that for as simple as it really is.
Yeah.
Now you brought some gloves that I keep catching my eye, and you have a really cool pose you do with the gloves.
I'm going to show you this. This is a hip one because a lot of people who sit for a living at desks and things get really, really tight, or they're driving all day long.
And that can lead to injury if you don't.
Absolutely.
Stretch it out. I know this firsthand.
And even surgery later on, hip replacements. So I like to use the little gloves because we're going to hang on to the kitchen sink, and I don't want anyone to slip. So here's a nice pose. You come back just about 2 feet away from the edge of the sink. Just squat down, hold on to the sink, bring your right leg over, flex your foot, and then just sit down into a nice squat, and you can hang here.
Oh, that would stretch.
Do you want to try that, Sharon?
I suppose I can try.
I think you have to now.
Do I get to wear the gloves?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Here.
All right. Let's see. And this is my bad hip I'm going to try to do this with. So let's see. So about this far out?
Yep. Just squat down, bring your right leg over, and then just sit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you can feel that in both sides, though. I was
Yeah.
expecting just one.
Yeah. Well, everyone will be a bit different. It depends on what's going on with your body.
I have to do this in my kitchen.
Yeah.
And now, if we're going to be away from home, we also
Well-
want to be able to continue.
Absolutely. Off the mat yoga is my thing. So this is, you don't have to go to a class. So I also created the kitchen yoga travel cards, which are included in the book. Just pull them out at the back of the book. And then you can practice everywhere you go.
On the road.
Yeah, so in your pocket, in your purse, to the cottage, to work, to your mum's house for tea, and then take them and let somebody else try them.
I love
so you
that.
just shuffle them up and then just say to a friend,
Pull
here,
one
pick
and,
one. Yeah.
and go. Let's
Yeah.
just see if I was going to do this right now, I would be doing leg swings at the kitchen counter.
Okay.
So we can do that, but for now I want to send people to the website because you know what?
Thank
This
you.
is a great idea. What's your website?
It's www.ruthshawyoga.com. So that's ruthshawyoga.com.
And I love this because you can be fit, you can be well, and it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg,
Exactly.
and we can all find the time to do it.
And it's an extra 30 minutes of stretching and yoga a week.
You have to like that. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for
You're
joining
so
us
welcome.
today.
Thank you for having me on the show, Sharon.
My pleasure.